Hi, Phantoms fans. We're in the studio here with defenseman Louie Belpedio, and well, he was joining us last year. He's back with us this season and for another season after that. Louie, that's where I want to start. After your first year here with Lehigh Valley, why did this come together where the Flyers and Phantoms wanted you? You wanted to come back. Why was this the right decision for you to stay with the Phantoms?
Obviously I enjoyed my time away from the rink here. I love living in the Lehigh Valley area. My fiance is from close by. So just, life away from the rink is good. It's relaxing. I like it a lot. And then, it's the people at the rink that was ultimately why I chose to come back and wanted to be part of something. Obviously, you hear like rebuilding from the Flyers and new management and new faces, and that's something that I wanted to be a part of. So it made my decision pretty easy, actually. When last season ended and my postseason interviews and stuff, with Lappy and with Danny, I knew right away that I wanted to come back, and I'm happy it worked out.
And that opportunity that you're talking about, that led to an NHL chance for you this year, and that was a big story for you this season. You've been in the NHL before, but really barely, one game at a time with Minnesota. Now this was an extended stretch with Philadelphia at the beginning of the season. A couple of players go down, and you were ready for it because of what you did all summer. You were here in Allentown, and you were hiking down to Voorhees all the time. And not every player is working every day and working out every day through the whole summer to stay in shape, but you were, so that you could seize the moment there.
Yeah, it was a lot, obviously, especially at that time of the day, hour and a half there, hour and a half back every day for 4 months. But it was worth every second of it. I felt like I took a lot of strides off the ice. I felt like it helped my game on the ice, just being around some of the players and, obviously the training staff and development staff that was around the rink and, helping me prepare. But it was definitely worth it. And, obviously it led to me getting my chance.
I think there's a lot made of the young guys that when they make their NHL debut, and correctly so. But in many ways, this was maybe bigger because now it had been 2.5 years. We had COVID, we had all sorts of other situations. But it had been a long time. When you're first drafted and you go, you're kind of a young kid and you just sort of assume you're going to make it. After a while, now you don't know if you're going to get that chance to be back. This is actually maybe bigger at 27 years old than it was when you made your NHL debut 4 or 5 years earlier.
Yeah, I just, for me, obviously, aside what other people think, I always believed. My mindset, my work ethic, none of that ever changed. I always believed that I could be there and make an impact and, and prove that I can handle it. And, I'm, obviously extremely thankful that I was given that opportunity by the Flyers. And, it's hard to put into words. I was super excited about it.
Was your first game in Minnesota? Is that right?
My first game was against Minnesota.
It
was in Philly, yeah. So it was kind of...
Yeah, full circle type of thing.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed my time with that organization. I enjoyed my time with the Montreal organization. But ultimately, this is, it was very special to be able to make that. I don't want to say make that jump here, but earn my chance and get a real look for an extended period, and it just all those long days, all those long hours in the car. There's days obviously I didn't want to do it. I'd come home complaining to Alyssa, my fiance, and she just kicked me back into shape. So she dealt with a lot over the past few years too. I dealt with a lot of hard days, but it's all worth it in the end. I'm extremely grateful.
The traffic going to Voorhees, that can do a lot to your mentality. I don't think
6 o'clock every day for
Dude,
4 months straight.
That was really dedicated with your, and you don't know if that chance is going to come, but that's what eventually got it for you.
Yeah, I had no idea. Obviously, I was just, working and in hopes of earning an opportunity, and not just credit to myself, but the training staff was great. Strength staff was great. On ice staff was great. All those people together that kind of, helped me and the other guys that were going every day take that step, and I'm extremely grateful for it.
What was it like scoring your first NHL goal?
It was awesome. Obviously, you said it. I'm 27. You don't know if you're going to ever get it. My first game. Not to talk about points because points aren't really part of my game. They're more of a bonus. I had 2 assists my first game, and I'm like, okay, and then you never know when you're going to get that next chance. So it was really special to be able to earn that, and that's a feeling I'll never forget.
One of the players, I don't even know who your teammate was, but nudged you on the bench. They had a close-up of it on TV.
Yeah, Garnet Hathaway.
It was Garnet Hathaway who asked, like, was that your first, really? Like, he was surprised. He didn't know.
Yeah. So it was special. Again, long time coming, and it was special to be able to share that with that group of guys too. They were all, probably happier than I was. So
I don't know about that, but
it was cool. Yeah.
They got the puck for you. Where do you keep the puck?
I actually don't have it yet. I think they're something they always do. They make like a plaque or something. Okay. So I'm kind of waiting to see. I don't know.
You pose with a photo and then they keep it from you.
Yeah,
that's
pretty much.
Right. I
mean, that's all right. I'm sure they're taking good care of it. So we'll see. Hopefully it ends up nice. Something I could put on the wall in my office or basement one day when I'm old and retired.
Before you were ever part of the Flyers, and I'm going to go back 9 years ago, and we're going to talk about the NCAA tournament game at Providence, where we just were, as a matter of fact. First of all, before I talk about the play and try to explain this, when we go back and play the Providence Bruins, do you look out there on the ice and kind of remember and think about that play?
I remember exactly where it happened. Yeah.
Right. So you think about it when we're there.
Their end behind the net. Yeah. Right. That's hard not to. Yeah.
Well, but most of the fans don't know about this. I've explained it a couple of times, and I explained it when we were at Providence, actually, in my broadcast the last time we were there. So it's an NCAA tournament game, 2015. So it's 9 years ago.
Yeah, it was my freshman year.
You're a freshman. You're like 18, right?
Yeah, I was 18.
And to me, this play, kind of nicely encapsulates the Louie Belpedio experience, the hustle. So Miami is down to Providence College, 6-2
we were down
or something.
6-2. Yeah, we pulled the goalie with, I think, 12 minutes left in the game.
I want to say it was even more, but
maybe
it was
more.
A lot of time.
We scored a few goals. We made it 6-5, and then that play happened.
And then so it's 6-5. We actually had the games on the TVs up in the press box. I was calling a Phantoms game.
Oh, really?
So those injured players in the booth next to me, they're watching it too. Oliver Lordson, who had played at St. Cloud State, was right there, and we were chatting.
Yeah.
And Providence is shooting for the empty net, and we're going to get video of this for the interview part. And Belpedio sees it. It's rolling too. It's not even gliding. It's rolling on its edge. So now it's going fast, and he comes all the way back, and you kill yourself. And
it was full speed. There was no slowing down.
You smacked it off the line, and you go right into the post and the boards.
Yeah.
And you knocked it off the line to keep it at a 1-goal game. Miami even lost this game.
Yeah, we did.
But everyone was talking about this play that this freshman kid from Miami made. And when the Flyers signed Belpedio, and I thought there's a good chance he's coming to the Phantoms, that's what I knew about you. I mean, I knew you were out with the Wild son, but I remembered that play. So I was calling the Phantoms game, and I'm looking at the ice.
Yep.
But all the guys up in the booth are watching this amazing comeback try for Miami, and if you had 5 more minutes, you would have made it all the way.
Yep.
And won. And so I hear all those players, Oliver Lordson and those guys, they go, oh, that was the reaction. And I look and I see the replay of what you did. So I mean, I remember it when it had happened. But you dive all the way back there and get to that puck.
Yeah. Just
hustling all the way, and you hurt your shoulder on the play too.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. That was not fun. It was worth it, but not fun.
But that's a play that you have to take a lot of pride in, like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it made the national highlight shows and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I do. Not just, I don't want to talk about me here. Like, I think if any guy on that team at Miami was in that position, they would have done the exact same thing. That was one of the closer groups I've ever been on, team-wise. Obviously I wish we could have completed the comeback, but just being a part of that was awesome, and my play was just a small part in what could have been, and it was fun. I'd do it 100 times over again if I could.
That's a part of what Louie Belpedio is on the ice, though. That's why you wear an A on your jersey here, because of the hustle and the shot blocks and plays like that. You get out there on the penalty kill, on the 6-on-5. Anytime we have one of those, we know that Louie's going to be out there. Are those some of the moments that you kind of live for? 1-goal game, and it's a PK. 5. We've had a lot of big penalty kills in recent games too. 5-on-3s and 4 minutes and 5 minutes and all of that. I mean, it's kind of this is our time. All right, let's go out there and kill it.
I feel like that's kind of been obviously I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but that's kind of what's made me successful as a hockey player and as a professional. Is just the one thing you can always control is how hard you work and how hard you compete, and you know you don't have your best every day, and you know might not be scoring every game or whatever it may be, but you know your effort and your compete level is something that you 100% control. So I feel like that's what's made me in a way, and that's that's why I've made it this far, and I don't plan on stopping that anytime soon.
Well, and also for a guy that's not the biggest guy out there, that doesn't stop you from getting your nose dirty and stirring the pot a little bit and
Yeah.
playing with that kind of snarl. You don't have to be a Garrett Wilson-sized guy to go in there and get in the guy's face and protect your goalie and do all of those things too.
Yeah, yep. I think that's just especially now it's funny. I don't feel old, but one of the older guys in the group, and if there's a younger guy out there who maybe gets hit a different something that I think isn't right, or someone stops and sprays a goalie, just little things like that. You got to take pride in standing up for your teammates and sticking up for the guys around you, and yeah, it's just something I don't I don't have to fight every night, but just little things and being hard to play against and competing every night are things that I take a lot of pride in.
You are hard to play against, yeah. I mean, we see that's what you're supposed to do there.
Yeah.
Louie Belpedio, it was great kind of talking around the whole circle here with you back to Miami and your great summer and your NHL experience too. Thanks for doing this.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate
thanks,
it.
Louie.
Yeah.